been gone for a minute now. I'm back with the jump off. Goons in the club case. Who am I looking at? Did you see me? I was in a whole video looking at somebody. Anyway, I'm back. Pray my strength in the Lord. I have had this flu for forever. You guys know, and I'm currently quarantined because I'm just not able to shake it. It's so crazy. I was in Philly for like 2 months and nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't even get a cough. You know what I mean? I come back to LA for like a day and I have a full-on flu that I like can't shake. So anyway, I've been down with that. Let's get into these reviews. I'm quarantined, so I have a lot of time. So I'm catching up on everything. And I'm playing dress up. I'm discovering jewelry I never knew I had. See what happens when you have a little downtime. Anyway, let's get into this. The conclusion of the reunion opens up with Samantha being bum rushed by an audience member. Like somebody who we find out later is Yandy's sister. Bum rushes the stage and punches Samantha in the back of the head, and then another audience member comes up and kicks her in the vagina. I mean, I don't know what kind of check Samantha is getting, but it has to be a nice size check, or you have to be in a dire situation to be like, you know what, I'll take a punch to the back of my head on national TV, because none of this stuff is not planned. Because if this wasn't planned and somebody just ran up there, security would have got there quicker. Let me tell you something. That stage, if you've never been to any of their reunions, they have security like hiding under the couches. So the fact that 2 people were able to like run up and assault her, don't play me, Mona. Don't play me. And if this is true, which I highly doubt, if this really happened, somebody just, you know, was able to, this woman, this sister from the hood was able to just, you know, be so covert that she was just able to run up on stage and attack Samantha, and then another person was able to do that. If that is true, which I highly doubt, Mona Scott Young has a liability on her hands, because if you are allowing your cast members that you pay to be a part of your show to be assaulted, then something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with the way that you are orchestrating this, because if the cast is not safe, then I mean, I'm as a viewer just like, well, who else isn't safe if people from the audience can just jump up on stage and beat up people, which is why I think that this is all planned. I'm telling you guys, reality TV, nothing is real about it unless it's Intervention. Have you guys seen Intervention? That stuff be true. They be having crackheads sleeping in sewers. That's the real deal. Intervention and Black Ink Crew, which I don't review anymore because not a lot of people watch it, but I still do. Messy. Then we get this whole like drama where we're locking down the set. The set is being locked down. All of it I don't believe, and you know, normally people who are in this situation would be embarrassed, but this cast is not embarrassed by it at all, and I don't expect them to be. They're like the parents who attend like Chuck E. Cheese events and they start brawling and all of a sudden it's on Facebook Live. This is this cast. Like, they are the type of people who are just like, we're okay with, you know, pulling out a razor blade and slicing somebody in a Macy's. That's just how they are. So none of them are like fazed by this at all. So I'm not shocked. I'm embarrassed for them, but they don't care. Love and hip hop. Then we get this sad scene with Mendice's daycare, all of his kids. And it's sad because those boys love each other, you know, and the mothers, I guess for money, of course for money, are just acting a pure fool and just tearing them apart for absolutely no reason. But to be honest with you, I don't care. Y'all can put them sad kids on TV all you want to. The mothers don't care. They're still out there fighting, calling each other names. The mothers don't care. The father is in jail. The grandmothers are fighting each other. They don't care. So our girl Yandy is caught in multiple lies. Surprise, surprise. But this is the thing, right, Yandy? If you want Mona Scott Young to like BFFs, how is she allowing you to be played like this? Unless you're in on it, which I kind of think you are, but the fact that they had you might. But I don't know, because I felt like Yandy knew. I don't know. Something gonna come out. Something, because Yandy is able to pull the strings because she's really close to Mona Scott Young. But Yandy, what is a bag? And why are you holding it by yourself? Is this like some like New York chick criminal talk? Honestly, I'm just disappointed that Yandy has sunk this low. I mean, to give these bitter baby mothers airtime, I'm just like, I'm I'm so confused. I'm like, aren't you and Mona Scott young friends? Like, what is going on? Why was this your storyline this season? You looked really foolish. You fell from grace. You're in there fighting with these girls. I got the bag. I'm legally married to him. I'm the wife. You're on Instagram in like a little orphan Annie wig, flaunting a ring. I'm so disappointed. And it's not because she's like my favorite character on the show. Like, I don't have a favorite character on this particular show. My issue is that I just don't understand someone who was here and is like BFF with the executive producer, how this is your storyline. Like, you and Bianca have the worst storylines this season, and I just don't understand, because when Bianca came to the show, she was like the one who was the most accomplished at that point, before Remy got there. And then like with Yandy, it's just like, what are you doing? You're fighting with these girls. They're exposing you to be something that the viewers don't know you as being. You know, where you're getting caught in these lies. You're pimping out poor skin, big titties. She's Jules Santana. Erica. Is her name Erica? You know who I'm talking about. Yandy, I don't know how this happened to you. I hope you come back stronger next season. And I hope it's a new cast. Aside from a couple of old favorites, but oh girl, you looked a mess this season. And this reunion. Because when they pulled that mic stuff on you, you were like, and you knew that girl that punched Samantha in the back of her head. You are so messy. Have you always been? And have the editors protected you? I'll see you say. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't. When Samantha looked at the camera and said that to Yandy through the camera, I better not see you in the streets, the eye cocked just a little bit. I was like, oh. It's not funny. I'm just saying, I noticed it. Mendice's sister brought it to my attention, and when it happened, I was like, oh, okay. So it wasn't observation. It wasn't just like a blanket insult, which is what I thought she was doing, but I realized that she was, she observed something that happens with her eye. Let me stop. I'm just saying I noticed it. So Drewski proposes to Sky at the Love and Hip Hop reunion. He films this video that... He filmed on an iPhone 5. Let me stop acting all, brand new because I got a 7. Anyway, he films this video and he plays it like right before he proposes to her. I'm just saying, it's not like y'all this hood couple on a come up trying to y'all don't really have the resources. Drewski, you bought her a Porsche. So you had the money to put up a much better video and then to propose to her at the Love and Hip Hop reunion, where just a few minutes ago a woman was punched in the back of the head by an audience member. Another woman had a stiletto heel thrown at her chest. Another girl that whose butt you put a laptop on came with some dollars, threw them at your girlfriend, then girlfriend at the time, called her a bird and threw dollars at her. You feel like this is the appropriate place to propose? Really? This sacred set of foolishness is where you want to get down on one knee and promise your life to a woman. Really, brother? Really? And what kind of father watches this show, sees all the stuff that this man has done to your daughter, and probably has been there when she's cried or called you or talked to you about a situation, gives his blessing for her to go and marry him? You know what? Is the dad hard up for some cash? Is he just like, listen, Scott, you're not gonna do no better. Take this white boy for his money. I can't stand this couple. No tea, no shade. I don't want them to come back. They did nothing for me this season. All I saw, and maybe again, this is probably because this is 45's America. I did not like seeing this white guy mistreat black women for an entire season. Okay? No. Do better. Now, if he was fine, no. I'm not going to be shallow. No. Sis, I knew you had it in you. I knew that you could pull this out. I don't know what happened to you for the rest of the season. What is Mona Scott paying you guys? You know what? Maybe this is terrible, but this is tell Lee the truth. Maybe you guys have to rough it out for the season, or maybe you're getting paid like assisted living wages for the time that the show was filming, and then maybe when the season wraps you get a nice little bonus, so you use that money to get, you know, the finest Instagram dresses and, you know, a professional makeup artist. Maybe that's what's going on, because you look great at this reunion, and I knew that this is what you had in you. I knew you were better than like rainbow sweater dresses and, you know, Old Navy combinations. I knew you were better than that. I knew it. So I was happy to see that Major Galore looked like a Major Galore. That made absolutely no sense. I just didn't think of, what rhymes with Major Galore? Major Galore, no. Lord. Cardi B's sister like rushes the stage and again attacks Major Galore and pulls out her track, and we get this behind the scenes footage of why they had an issue a year ago when Cardi was at a strip club. Was she stripping a year ago? Like, I don't know. I thought that this was like far behind, or like a few years, but I guess a year ago Cardi B was like stripping at a club, or exotic dancing at a club where Major Galore was working, and she said something about her, and Cardi B's sister overheard it. I don't know what this whole issue with them was. I really could not keep up with this chaotic hood tale. I do know that I was very disappointed. I was disappointed in Cardi B the entire time. Like, this entire reunion, 1 and 2. She was such a disappointment for somebody who's getting such a come up. And I'm not going to be too hard on her, because I get it. Like, I've already said it. They're too old for this. You know what I mean? But not everybody has that training, you know, knows how to code switch. You know, Cardi B doesn't know how to code switch, and she's young, but she's old enough to know better. But I feel like she's learning. Like, when you expose people and get them out of what they're used to, or just their surroundings, and you expose them to not a better way of life, just a different way of living, and a different way of communicating, and a different way of getting money, and you know, healthy relationships with men and women. Like, I think she can grow to be that person that we're all rooting for her to be, because I watched a couple of reviews, and I think that some people are a little hard on her. And I agree, you know, I agree with the critique, but I'm just like, not everybody knows how to do that, you know what I mean? Not everybody, you know, was able to be bused to different schools, or, you know, got vouchers, or parents had the money to pay for you to go to these different camps and learn this and to travel, and, you know what I mean? I'm a product of, you know, the fact that my mother busted her behind so that I could travel and go see things and, you know, interact with people all over the world. Like, I was fortunate enough to, had that. Not that we had the coins, but my mom was a hustler. Like, she knew how to get me in programs and things like that. Not everybody has that, you know what I mean? So I know how to sit on the stage and conduct an interview. Maybe Cardi B doesn't know that just yet. I'm just like, now she's 35 and she's still throwing shoes, and okay. But I feel like she can grow. She can get there. She's just, you know, she's still learning. Then we spend an unnecessary amount of time on Mexico. I didn't care, and I think the viewers didn't care as well. Like, the majority of the viewers didn't care. I don't think that the Mexico trip or whatever had a lot of ratings, because it was really dry. I just felt like we probably spent that time on Mexico to introduce Juju, who is not sad to say, but it's like, she's my favorite character on. I don't have a favorite character on the show. I did say that. I lied. It's Juju. But I just feel like they did the Mexico introduction thing to introduce Juju. You know what I mean? Like, they talked about Mexico so we could introduce Juju. But as soon as she was introduced, she was gone. So it doesn't, man, she's my favorite. And I know the bare minimum about her. Mona, please bring her back more next season. Her and Cameron. I think that maybe he didn't want to film as much as he did, because he probably doesn't have anything coming out. Hopefully next season he'll have something coming out, so he'll probably be on more, and we can see their relationship a little bit more. Hopefully. But I love Juju. And by the way, Juju, yep, this whole cast looks so. Kimbella, that is her. Oh, her earlier. Sorry, Kimbella. I don't know why can I get your name? It's such a, like, unforgettable name. I'm sorry, no shame. Peter, Amina, and Tara. Amina, you need help. Tara too, but Amina, there's something not quite right. You allow yourself to be tormented by this man. It's clear that Peter doesn't want you. He tells you this all the time, but he still, like, has sex with you, and I don't know. Like, I don't know what you need. I mean, prayer and exorcism. You just have, in my Andrew Caldwell voice, low self-esteem. Like, what is going on? Why are you allowing yourself to be treated this way? It can't be for money. No tea, no shade, Peter. I'm not counting your coins, but you have a billion children, and you're not really up there for having like a lot of money. I know you make some kind of money, but outside of Love and Hip Hop, I don't really know what you do. And you were really mad at Cisco for, knocking that $10,000 out of him. You were really happy when you got it back. So it's like, it can't be for money. So I just really think that it's something's not quite right, and it's sad at this point. And Peter, you really need to stop having sexual intercourse with a woman that's not mentally well, because I feel like Amina is she's on the road to fatal attraction. You know what I mean? Like right now, she's just like, oh no, but he still has sex with me. Where is that at? I'm trying to do the list, but I don't know why I went Afro-Latino. Forgive me. But she's well on that way to, like, next time, Peter comes home, she's like boiling a kitten or something. You know what I mean? Like, she's there. So you men are going to learn. You have to stop playing with the hearts of women who you think are just sad and depressing and they have low self-esteem. That low self-esteem will turn into nut job, and next thing you know, your life is a living nightmare. And then Tara, I said this before in my other reviews, I hate this persona that Tara gives off, where it's like, I'm an etiquette coach. I can't believe that you're allowing this stuff to happen to you, darling. How could it be? But you are allowing yourself to be played by Peter as well. Like, you're in the same boat as Amina. You're no better. I think the only reason why you get this leg up is because the cast knows you more, and because Peter wants you. He desires you. He does not want Amina. He wants you. But that still doesn't make you any better. You still are, going back. Child, they are the Rachel and Leah of Love and Hip Hop. If you, if you ain't Black Baptist or Christian, is that the same thing? It's the same thing. Forgive me, I'm full of Robitussin. But it's Rachel and Leah in the Bible. They're two girls, two sisters who are actually fighting over the same man. And Joseph, right? Joseph, he loved Rachel more. Why am I preaching? Anyway, Amina, you need help. And Tara, you are no better. And it's so sad because y'all bringing these kids into it. And I honestly feel like Tara doesn't want Peter. I feel like she sleeps with Peter or tries to. Two reasons. I think she sleeps with him for two reasons. One, because let me tell you something. When a woman is pushing 40 or in her 40s and going over, there's a certain amount of kids that she wants. If she does it, like the clock is ticking, she's like, I gotta have these kids before I can't have them anymore. So a lot of times when a woman has kids with a man, even if they're no longer together anymore and she's not with anybody, she wants to have a child who has the same, like she doesn't want to have multiple fathers. So I feel like Tara was using Peter for his sperm. I think that she wanted to have more kids and she wasn't in a relationship. So it was just like, let me stay consistent here with my children. Now I got my 3 boys. I'm done. I'm good. Shut it down. And I also feel like she still messes with Peter because it gets under Amina's skin because Amina was the other woman. Because if you remember this, Peter messing with Amina was just a storyline. If you remember the first season they were on, Peter said at the reunion, I can't believe I ruined my 10-year-long relationship for a plot line. And that was Amina. And so I feel like Tara is just doing that because she can do it and she knows it gets under her and it makes her feel less than. Because I feel like her issue is not with Peter who cheated on her, it's with Amina who was the other woman. Because women like that always go after the other woman. They never go after the dog that did them dirty. They go after the other woman. But it's just like, Tara, you're punching down. Amina's not well. We all know it and we all see it. Tara was just like, I didn't want her to say that because, I'm not with him, but he is still the father of my child, my children, and I want to control his image. Have you not seen the show? His image is not under control at all. Your kids are seeing it. They're probably going to grow up and process it and see it again. Kids sometimes can be cruel. They're going to get that played over and over and over again, especially in high school. They're going to be like, look at what your father's doing to your mother. So they're already going to see that. And I hope they process it right, because they could process it the wrong way and start doing that same behavior that Peter did to you to other women, and the cycle continues. So you better hope that when they finally see and are able to understand this show and the foolishness that y'all did for a check, you better hope that they're in the right place and in the right state of mind where they don't recreate the things that their father did, that they become better men. A lot of times it don't happen that way. And that was pretty much it. Nothing of importance really happened after that. I think Cisco and Rich maybe are going to fight at some point in the street, but nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Creep Squad. Nobody. I don't think the Creep Squad even cares about the Creep Squad anymore at this point. But nothing really of interest happened after that, and that's where the reunion wrapped up. I'm so thankful that it's two. Nina, you can do better, sis. I'm not saying that you're better than the show, but you are. Like, you can get a better gig. I've seen you on other things. I just don't think this is for you. I said it before. They need somebody who's gutta. They need somebody who will ask the right questions, who are not afraid to, like, get down and, you know, get grimy with the cast members. Last time I said it should be Funky Dineva, and I still think that Funky Dineva will ask the questions, but I kind of feel like Funky Dineva is too industry. And then I was thinking maybe Alexander Rogers, but I feel like he will get into a brawl with them. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm like, I keep on thinking that the best person will be Wendy Williams, but I don't think that she would do it. They need somebody who will, like, get down, who will ask those questions and who will move this along. I don't know. I really don't know. Not me. I'm trying to be a legitimate. I am a legitimate actress. I do this for fun. You're not gonna get me down. Being grimy with the cast member. That was it. I'll see you next week for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now that show, that's gonna give us some tea. I can't wait for that. See you then. Bye. My neighbors are so loud. Get a job.